So if this word is wine, this word would be
It'd be magazine.
magazine. You don't see how that... That's all right. You know,
Okay.
I'll give you another one, okay? All right, so if this is magazine, this word would be
Porcupine.
porcupine. You don't you're just not getting it. It's okay, it's okay. I'll do another one for you. All right, so you know this word?
River.
River, yes. Okay, good. So you are getting the hang of it. So if that's river, then this right here would be...
Diver.
No, it's diver. You don't...
Oh, okay.
It's okay. Let me give you one more, okay?
Okay.
All right, so first word is thread.
Thread, yep.
Which means this word right here would be...
Red.
Well, it depends.
All right, I love these videos because it points out in a funny way how difficult English can be. And if we don't laugh, then we'll cry about it, right? If you are someone who speaks English as a second language, then I'd love to help you understand better why these words are pronounced the way they are. And when you understand the rules of American English, specifically the spelling rules and the pronunciation rules, then it can make this process of learning English so much easier. All right, so we're gonna dissect some of these words that he goes through in this video and explain why they're pronounced the way they are. This video is really based on a lot of the rules of long and short vowels in American English. So we're gonna get pretty technical here to be able to show you how to know if it's a short vowel or a long vowel, and then also where the exceptions come in, okay? So let's first talk about a short vowel. So the short vowels are vowels like a, I, ah. And they're typically spelled with one vowel letter, okay? For example, at, red, it, up, and hot. Those are all examples of short vowels. And they're called short vowels not because of the way they're pronounced, because you can hold a short vowel long. So I could say ah, but it's more in the movement. It's a short movement in the mouth, ah, and not always in its pronunciation, okay? So that short vowel. So it's when one vowel stands alone, all right? It's going to be the short vowel. And I'll come back to this a little bit. But let's talk about now the long vowels. Pronunciations such as O, A, I, ow, E, oo. Okay, they're typically spelled with two vowels. The long movement of the mouth is why they're called long vowels, is it's like A. There's more movement going on in the mouth for these long vowels. Okay, so let's figure out, okay, when do we pronounce a short vowel and when do we pronounce a long vowel? So long vowels typically have two vowels next to each other. Short vowels, it's one vowel next to each other. Okay, so a common saying is when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. So the first vowel says its full name or its long name or long pronunciation, while the second vowel stays silent. Now, vowels may be written together in a vowel-vowel consonant pattern, such as boat or made or cue. Or they can be separated by one consonant in a vowel-consonant-vowel situation. So like made, we're still getting that long A, even though we have the consonant in between another vowel. Okay, made, ride, and tide are examples of this. So again, the long vowel is when we have two vowels next to each other or there's just one consonant in between. But if we have two consonants in between and separate those two vowels, then it goes back to being more of a short vowel. So the way I like to explain this is, so I'm a parent, I'm a mom of 5 kids, and so this relates to me, and if you have kids, you might, this might relate to you as well or around a lot of kids. But think of vowels as the kids. Kids can be loud, they can be rambunctious. When there's one vowel or one kid, and let's call the consonants adults, okay? So when there's one vowel or one kid and we have two consonants around it, so two adults kind of supervising, that vowel's gonna stay quiet. That vowel's gonna say its short pronunciation. But when we get two vowels together, they're gonna get loud. Just like kids get loud when they have multiple kids together. They're gonna get more loud. They're gonna say the long pronunciation. So when we have two vowels next to each other, they're gonna get that long pronunciation. Now, if we put one consonant or one adult in between, it's going to not make a big difference. Okay, those kids are still going to be kind of rowdy, or those vowels are going to be longer. But if we put two parents or two adults in between the consonants, then they quiet down a little bit more. Okay, so maybe that will help you kind of remember that rule of long and short. All right, so let's dive into these examples shown in the video that we saw. So wine, okay, wine. Wine is following the rules of that long and short. That I is getting a long I pronunciation because there's just one consonant before the vowel again. So wine. Porcupine is the same situation. Porcupine, that long I is following the rules. It's getting that long pronunciation because there's only one consonant between the I and the other vowel. Now, magazine is an exception to the rule. So it should be magazine based on these rules for pronunciation in American English. But it is an exception because of its French influence. So magazine comes from a French word, and so we've incorporated this French pronunciation into the pronunciation of magazine. This happens a lot in English. French has a very large influence in how we pronounce a lot of French words or French-influenced words in English. Let's talk about river. Okay, river follows the rules. River, short I, and we have that E and then R at the end. But it's only the I and the E are only separated by one consonant. So river is following the rules. Now, diver is a different situation. A diver is someone who dives, whereas a river isn't someone who rives. You know, river is a word unto itself. It's a noun unto itself. But a diver is someone who dives. So the root word is dive, and we've added the ER as someone who does that thing. Okay, so diver is one of those situations. So that's why this has a different pronunciation than river, is we get diver because dive is the root word. And that dive follows the rules of American English pronunciation with the long I because of that E that's there. Now let's move on to thread. Okay, thread. Thread does not follow the rules. Thread, what we should see is that E and A, we have two vowels together, it should be threed. Threed, based on the spelling rules. But it happens in English, we have these exceptions that come up. So thread does not follow these pronunciation rules in English. Now, the next one, read. Read does follow pronunciation rules. So two vowels together, R-E-A-D. Read, that first vowel is going to get its full pronunciation. Read. So that follows the rules. Now, the past tense of read is read. And for whatever reason, we spell it the same as read. Okay, we read a book yesterday is a past tense of read. So that is going to get that red. Same pronunciation as the color red. That short vowel. All right, so we've gone through some of these examples of explained kind of the rules of that short and long vowels. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. Now, English is going to follow these rules about 80% of the time. And then there's those 20% that the French influenced words or the exceptions to the rules kind of come in. But if you know the rules and you understand how American English pronunciation works for 80% of it, you're going to get a large chunk of this and be able to feel confident as you're speaking English that you're following the rules for the most part, and then we can start adding the exceptions along the way. So I hope this was helpful, and if you want to learn more about how to pronounce words correctly in American English, go ahead and check out this next video, How to Improve Your English Pronunciation.